As President Bola Tinubu marks 1 year in office, the Nigerian police is one institution that he promised would witness a transformation. Senior correspondent Ivy Kano reports in this report takes a look at how far the administration has fared. This administration has never hidden its determination not to only transform the security agencies in the country, but also completely overhaul the Nigerian police force. This was evident when in October 2023, President Bola Tinubu set up a constitutional review committee with a marching order on police reforms. The mandate of the committee was, amongst others, look at the gaps in the 1999 Constitution with a view to bring harmony, synergy, closing technology and manpower to the Nigerian police force. Now it is 1 year, but has the Nigerian police force witnessed any progress?
A lot of things has been done. The president has come up with a robust approach, retraining, upgrading the capacity of the police. Some of the assessment made by the Minister of Police Affairs is that they have put up a scheme whereby police are expeditiously paid some of their entitlements. Thousands of them have been promoted. The president also has made a move towards improving the barracks. It involves capital intensive projects.
Well, looking at last 1 year, I don't think so. I've looked at welfare, even taking the example of the recent incident in Delta, where we had some set of military guys were killed and some sort of police people were killed. The military were given almost a national burial. The police, we didn't know what happened to them. The police people are still buying their uniforms. The police people are still buying bail bonds, from external printers, and we'll have a national printing board ordinary that should provide that, because that's a security document.
Speaking further, the private security practitioner gave the president kudos for tinkering with state police.
It's critical for us to be able to succeed as a nation. The community is a gold mine for intelligence. Once the police can build and close that gap of that trust deficit that is among the people and the police, I'm sure state police will be a wonderful experience for us.
Retired Assistant Inspector General of Police believes a lot more can be done to reposition the Nigerian police.
That is, you'll be able to have intelligence at your doorstep with minimum use of personnel to avoid losing many of your personnel. More vehicles, the APCs, communication equipment, drones. Drones are the way forward now.
For the first time in Nigeria, the president approved the first week of April as Police Week and the last day of the week as National Police Day. President Bola Tinubu also expressed his willingness to invest in training and capacity building, upgrade the equipment and technology of the force. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos. And I have joining me former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, for more on the assessment of security in the country in the last 1 year. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much for having me.
So our conversation is predominantly security, but let me take the first 30 seconds to get to your view on the the president assenting to the bill on the change of the national anthem to the old one.
I'm sure they must have thought through it and look at the weddings of the old national anthem and see how it resonates with our current situation in the country before they passed it into law. Let's wait and see. I think it's a good thing.
Thank you. All right, let's get into security. People will say, and I've listened to security analysts over the past few weeks saying it is too early. 1 year is not enough to deal with the myriad of security challenges in the country. But is there any indication that this administration is heading in the right direction in terms of how it is handling insecurity in the country?
Absolutely. Let me quickly say that, security, the goods and services that the law enforcement officers, they produce don't lend themselves to mathematical, calculations. They are soft goods. So when a police department prevents a crime from happening, most members of the public, they will not know the effort that has been put in to do that. I can appreciate why Nigerians are a bit agitated. There are a lot of ungoverned spaces. And when you are talking about security, you are talking about dominating the security space, visibility, where you have more men on ground. But that the present government has tried to address by ascending to recruiting 30,000 police officers to join the already depleted 250 that they already have as far as at last week national survey that was carried out. 10,000 are going to be infused into the system, very soon. Once the police are, they are sure that the schools are ready for them to accommodate them. The commission has concluded, to release the results for the 10,000 persons to commence training immediately. So if you add that to what they already have, it should be good to say we are on the right track. See, policing is a man-material mix. So while you are putting in the manpower there, you are also complementing it with technological platforms. That is what is done in modern contemporary policing. So, and I think the government is also trying to jazz up, that aspect of their intervention. You could see what Wike is doing in Abuja FCT is complementing the technical platform of the state command. Edo has done that, Oyo is doing that, Lagos has done that. There are some states. So you see, the federal government cannot take absolute control of the security. It's a whole of society approach. So I think that is the way we should be looking at it, to say why the federal government is making their own plans, where the complementary role of the states should also be appreciated. And
if I may just quickly come in, because a lot of people will say, what you're saying is beautiful, but what they are seeing on the ground doesn't match, the reality on ground doesn't match the idea of government even making any effort at all. What are the loopholes? And again, what should the states be doing to complement the efforts of the federal government?
You see, policing, is predicated on strategic, thinking at the strategic level of the business. So if we now say the federal government is already agreeing, is already ascending to decentralizing policing functions in the country. That is why the issue of state police has come up again. With despite its some of the mitigating factors, it will also help in deepening community partnership in internal security management. So security reforms or police reforms is not a sprint. It's a marathon. So you must take a look at it. I give you an example. Now you can see that the reputational damage that the police has been going through the years is being mitigated now because of their approach towards human rights abuses. Whenever it occurs, because of the public supports to say no, you can't do that, the police is now reacting. So there is this, collaboration between members of the public and the police forces to say the rights of Nigerians must be at all times be respected. So you discover that the kinetic approach towards policing internal security has been, tampered down with, the public stepping in to do that. I think what we should be aiming for, my own perspective in this matter is that, you see, every organization that makes progress is dependent on the amount of capacity they are able to put on the table. So, the idea of training and retraining must be emphasized. And I think, we have started doing that one in the, there's a lot of stakeholders, they are sympathetic to the police, because you see, the idea is that You cannot have economic development where there is political security disorder. So we're making some progress. It's just that it may look slow, to most members of the public. And somebody mentioned about welfare. If you want to motivate a workforce, their welfare must be paramount. A situation where a retired commissioner of police earns less than 100,000 as pension, that is demotivating, for those who are still in the system. A scheme of service is being put in place also, presently with the secretary to head of government, to see how we can, assist the police to rediscover, themselves.
Thank you so much for your time. So much to watch out for. Nigerians are watching what the next 1 year will look like in terms of security. Thank you so much for your time. The former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase.
Thank you for having me.
And still ahead on TVC News at 1, 16 students of Ajayi Crowther University handed over to police for